Hello everyone, this is Hassan from HDFX and let's talk about US dollar, Canadian dollar. Now I have account on the bigger time frame, but today I will not show you that. I want to talk about something else and I actually want to talk about the recent count, that's what's going on, okay? Now, as you can see, for the last 7 years, their trend line is what actually mattered the most, okay? Along with this one. If I wanted to do another one, maybe something like this, okay? So I don't know exactly where this one starts. Maybe it starts from something like here or something, okay? So these two were the most important ones. And as you can see how many times this has been support, then it's broken, resistance, then once more into resistance. Okay, so whenever you are doing it, you should be very careful of what's going on. Okay, whenever you want to trade, you should keep an eye on this trend line. And also, this is the recent one. It looks like we had some type of a triangle. Okay, and this, of course, turned out to be a resistance. It was a great place to sell, of course, along with other things, because why? We had this here, and of course, I wouldn't just sell according to this, but this level seems to be holding pretty good. And now it did high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And it looks like market broken, retested, and come back up. And we just revisited the same area as a resistance, support. Okay. Now this is the tricky part of what's going on here. Okay. This is the part that we should understand what's going on in order for to be able to trade the pair. Okay. For this, I will go to daily chart. And from the daily chart, well, actually, if you go back to the weekly chart, you could have some options here. Now, you may consider this as a double top, okay? This would be your first top, and this would be your second top, which is cool. And what you want to do, maybe you may want to trade a pattern called 2618. Okay. Now, after this retracement, if we start to have a retracement to do 618, okay, you may try to trade a sell. Okay, that is one option that you can take, but it looks like it's so far away from it at the moment. But just so you know, just because it's on the weekly chart, you should still consider it. Okay, if you are considering this as a double top. Okay, let's go back to the actually 4-hour chart, which is actually where we can look for what's going on. Okay. Okay. Now, from what I am looking, okay, what made sense to me before too as well, this was a move that actually finished like with a flat, with a failure, okay? The failure, it finished somewhere, okay? And because of this ended something on the way bigger degree. This is the second top of the double top, okay? So-called double top. So this is why the only move that made sense to me, that if I finished here on this side, okay, and not at here, because I couldn't find the working count if I did actually put it here. So this is why I put it here. Now, from this, what does it look like? Well, it does look like we can have something like this here. So we have a wave A, a wave B, and a wave C. This does look like a terminal move, okay, an ABC, and an X wave, the triangle by itself, and this triangle actually did broke into the downside, so it's good. So ABCX and A, B probably somewhere around here, okay, and then we are somewhere around here on the C wave, okay. Now, if that's the case, then this is what we should be considering about, okay. This is the important part. Now, what we should do after this, of course, is the following. What are we looking for? Okay, what is it that we are looking for? I'm sorry, I did have to take a drink. So what are we looking for? Well, we have wave A and wave B. So we already had um, zigzag formation here. The next wave, another zigzag. Well, if that's the case, this does look like not normal classical impulsive move. This move here, right here, or maybe started from here. I don't know. I don't know at the moment exactly. Okay, but I would rather put it here. Now, if that's the case, what is this? Is this a classical impulsive move or a terminal move? The answer will change a lot. And did it end here or no? Okay, so let's try to determine what can be one of the ideas. Okay, now one of the ideas can be something like this. You may have a 1 here, for example, a second wave, a third wave, a fourth wave, and for example, I'm thinking like a fifth wave. Now, 2 to 4 trend line, clean. Part of the fifth wave can actually do it, and 1 to 3 trend line. Now, this is all fine, okay? But if this is the case, then there are some stuff that we have to consider. This would be the end of the C wave. Now, uh, what does this fifth wave can be? Well, it actually can be a triangle by itself, because the fifth wave can actually be a triangle. So, for example, can we think something like this? Wave A, maybe wave B, a wave C, a wave D, and a wave E. Maybe something like this. Now, is that possible? Maybe something like, maybe not. This is the D wave. So let's change the color actually. So let's make it like white. Maybe this is the B wave. And then, A and C trend line. Maybe A and C doesn't work. Maybe C and E. Okay. I know it looks ugly, but it can be. If that's the case, then this is the fifth wave and this is the C wave. Now, if that's the case again, then we have to think something. And that something is this. If this is a terminal move that ended here, okay, the market should go to all the way to here in this time. Where? All the way to the 135, 36 almost, if that's the B wave. In till 1st of October. Now, if that's the case, then this does look like a nice risk-reward ratio. However, this is only, of course, one of the options, okay? Now, what we should do is we should look for, are we supplement this idea with something else. Okay, by something else I mean, for example, a trend line or something like this. Okay, so let's go back to the daily chart. Now this actually showed us a nice bottom, this trend line here. Why? Well, like I said before, this was one, another one, another one, another one, another one. Then of course it became the resistance. Let's change this. So the resistance, and then acted as a resistance. So that can be something. Now, what else can it be? Well, if that's the case, let's actually try to draw a fib level that, let's see if actually can give us some kind of supplement idea. Okay, so if that's the way, the start, and if this is the end, okay, if this is the end, look, our target, this where it's supposed to go in this due time, it comes back to 382, which is something good. So that can be another option that you have to you can look for. Also, what else you can look for is, let's look at the RSI and let's see if we have an oversold situation in the at least weekly. Well, we are not there yet, to be honest, but it doesn't mean that it will not pick up from there, of course. But I would have liked that option when it hit here, if it did was an oversold, I would have liked a little bit more, to be honest with you. So these are the stuff that you should be using in order to have better idea of what's going on. Okay, so let's get rid of this and let's end the video around here, guys. Okay, now if you have any idea, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. And if that's the case, let's see if this is the wave A or wave 1 or something, what it is. We will see. We know the time. We have the time on our side, and we have on just this idea, of course, it doesn't mean that we should buy it or something. Please take this as an don't take this as a investment advice or something. It's not. It's just for education. But still, this is what I'm looking for at the moment. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, and see you on the next one.